I have become the poet that is inside me. I am Thembani Ma'at Onceya. I was born here in Grahamstown. I stay in Joza, in Extension 9. I am a poet, Imboki. My poetry is based on a political poetry. I call it a protest poetry sometimes. In 2008, I performed in a competition that was organized by Kutliso Daniels High School, and I won the competition. And then from there, I used to perform around, performing for adults and the youth. And then in 2012, that's when I started to go around the Eastern Cape from 2010. Used to perform in Port Elizabeth and East London. Somehow I found out that there was this competition, poetry competition in PE. And I found out when I was there. So I went to join in the competition and I won in that competition. We were taken to East London to perform again and I won again. Then we went to Durban and I won the competition. It was Young Blood South African Talent 2012. In 2013 I went to Cape Town and I performed in the Hip Hop Kaslam Awards. It was a very exciting moment and I enjoyed myself in that environment because there was this feeling of art. There was this love for the art and it made me question the way I am doing my art, and it gave me an opportunity to criticize myself, self-criticism, and I started to go to the mountains to write poems, to be in rivers and write poetry, started to do a lot of things using my poetry. Like last year I won the competition here at Rhodes University, which was a multilingual creative writing competition, and I won that competition. So poetry to me, it means an agency to social change. It means the voice that can guide the nations into a better or a fruitful future. Because I have been having this kinds of a phrase in my poetry that know thyself. Because I have this kind of self-interrogation or self-introspection where I want to find myself because of many things that have happened and the loss of identity that we have found ourselves into. These questions are the questions that are very important and that I think people need to take them seriously. Because when you don't understand the self, you lose the courage of becoming yourself. The poetry that we are doing, maybe in the cycle of knowledge, is a poetry that introduces the township vibe and also the student vibe together. What informs, or maybe what are the bases of the cycle of knowledge? We came together for the sake of sharing our experiences, our memories, and our intelligence. We are the cycle of knowledge. We are the cycle of knowledge. Donzakela ndikhusuka apha emhlabeni ndizinyamezela intlungu zibuhlungu entliziyweni zixela ingcinga sasilonde engqondweni umzimba udubhudubhu sisibetho somhlaba amadola atyhafile kuqabela iqhina lentaba lusizi lubhalwe emehlweni andityanga ndisenke dame salifuna apha ebomini ndisatyakadula ntyakatya ngentlungu lapha emhlabeni ndibhekisa amehlo kwingxuba kaxake lapha ebomini iidrugs ndizamile zindilungelanga ubutsotsi ndimxhinxile bundivumelanga kule mibongo ndingene ngeenyawo zombini kwaphumilanga abanomona baxhobhaxhobile befuna uphanyaza ilanga ezemidlalo ndizigenile ndilichithele lesibhanqa iintsuku zendelelana ndasibona ndinakamva ndisabhalwe amanxeba enkuthalo ebusweni ndisithi sizaba linqindi phezulu idolo phezulu umzabalazo kaloku usaqhubekeka sisisangqazolwazi umzimba ugcwele izilonda intlungu ziyaqaqamba ziyazisanda zindenza ndiwunikele umphefumlo kuba phezulu kwizibonda iinyembezi ndiziphalaze kumaxhego kwinkonda obubomi babancanywayo kwankoncanyelweni kwamandula izintlungu zikeleze eziginqini ikumphakathi ukhala ngendlala ngamazwi ayephuma entliziyweni yezintlungu silahlekelwa ngamakhaya nakubazali izintlungu kukusishiya kotata izintlungu zokuphila phantsi komngcipheko uzawubulawa sisiphetho ingaba intlungu indaba yokuphila subuza nomhlaba sawushiya kweliqhekeza lobomi siyabiya baba indlela sisibetho kwexesha ubomi lukhetho ubomi izintlungu zikanaphakade uthulu lubuyela elithulwini nkanaphakade sisisangqazolwazi Nkosi ndijonge kuwe izono zam zijongwe nguwe imihla yami ifutshane ubamba ukhawuleza kombane andisakwazi ukwenza lutho mama ke singayinombutho inyembezi zinqandavula ugazi kunzima ukhala inyembezi nqaba amanzi ngasisisele ntoni emhlabeni fanele qabe ebaleni ngabe kokuba kungalifaka ethembeni nalo mntwana endophula esikolweni akusakho nomuntu onondifaka entliziyweni ndithi ubomi bam bonakele izinto zazimoshakele I wonder andisakwazi nokufunda wayi ngoba ndileli ingatyanga kunzima nomqamelo lala phezu kwamaplanga iintsuku zecotha ndisazinenyanga ndicinga inkosi sithi bawo baxolele kuba bayazi indaba ayenzayo khangeleka njengomntwana ofayo ngesafunwayo bomi bakhe buphela ngento ezaphukayo antshwa zimpukane kunzima uyisusa indlala abantu bakujongela phantsi iinyembezi zivela zizihlele emehlweni ndithi I wish sisisangqazolwazi we are the cycle of knowledge. I have been influenced by many poets. You have Mafika Gwala, who is a black consciousness poet, who has written many poems. You have Liseko Rampolokeng, who has this kind of a hip-hop poetry that is very strong and that speaks actually to the selves and things that are happening socially. You have Maya Angelou, who is also legendary in this field of poets. She has been the great. She has this poem that I love. I will rise. I will rise. That's the kind of poetry that I'm looking for. The poetry that gives courage to the people, that make people feel strong about themselves. Those are the poets, at least, that have made me think deeply about me becoming a poet and me experiencing poetical life and starting to write poems and starting to perform for people poetry. The first day when we organized our public forum as the Black Student Movement, the first thing in our opening that I did was the poem, and that poem was my Africa Bleed, trying to make people understand how things have changed and how Africa has becoming a bleeding mother. We started to have conversations about what is happening to us personally. We started to share those experiences together, and out of that sharing, the movement was formed. And from there, we started to challenge issues and things that we thought maybe they were suppressing us, and things that maybe the institution was not engaging with them. There's no one single important thing, because the PSM is claiming a total liberation. A name change might be there as an umbrella of the movement, but the PSM is engaging with many issues on the ground. We went to the transformation conference, and the things in this university are at least a bit changing. We started to discuss now in our faculties curriculum transformation, something that never happened with students. Even in our first meeting, public forum, what we said a lot of things that we feel in this institution, and we started to say the name must change. and the geography of our reason shifted from that moment, because we went to the admin building now demanding to be listened, and that made a very strong impact within the university, because university like Rhodes, which was never challenged in that form before, it started to look at the issues of the students. It is poetry to me that has made me question the history and everything and politics. And it is poetry that have driven me to many things that I have been doing. A lot of things that an individual cannot do in one day. But it has made me do a lot of things at the same time. Something that I think is very unique when you start to understand the purpose of why you are here, the purpose of your life. So poetry to me, and in that sense, it has become something that is very strong and that can lead the world.